Here are my 10 most controversial tips for beginning music students. Hi, my name is Julia. I'm the piano teacher at Interlude Music Lessons. You can check us out at interludemusiclessons.com. I've been playing piano for many years now, and I wanted to share some of the most controversial, or maybe not so controversial, tips I have for beginning students. The first kind of high-key controversial tip that I have for beginner music students is that I don't care if you don't practice in between lessons. I know that sounds shocking, but think about if you were taking a pottery class or a language class once a week. You wouldn't consider that a waste of time just because you're only having that 1 hour lesson a week, right? So the same goes for music lessons. Even if you're only having a 30-minute lesson once a week, that's another 30 minutes of music education in your life, and I think that's totally worthwhile. Be honest in the comments. How often do you practice in between your lessons? Okay, so this brings me to my next point, which is practicing any amount counts as practice. If all you managed to get in was 5 minutes a day, that's 5 minutes more than 0, and it totally counts. Even if you personally have bigger practice goals for yourself, starting with small, achievable goals is going to help you really sustainably get there rather than trying to do it all at once and burn out. Fill your tea in the comments and let me know how much you like to practice every day. Okay, my next controversial tip is to decolonize your music education. You do not have to stick with your traditional Haydn and Beethoven if that's not your jam, or if you're interested in decolonizing your studies. A couple of ways we try and do this at Interlude is by making sure that we always are introducing a wide variety of composers and styles, and that we do talk about what's wrong with those problematic faves. If you want to help our whole comment section decolonize together, then shout out your favorite non-white artists below. Here's my next hot take. I think that students should only be playing pieces that they enjoy and that they want to play. Me and my brother Tony, who's our guitar teacher, you might know, are 2 out of 3 triplets, and all 3 of us took piano lessons growing up, and we were so lucky to have music teachers that encouraged us to play pieces that were interesting to us and joyful for us to play. I think that kids, grown-ups, really students of any age are going to do so much better and are going to progress a lot more quickly if they enjoy and if they have choice in what they're learning. What's your favorite piece to play right now? Next, I think that listening to your piece totally counts, and it's an important part of practice. Especially in the Western classical world, we kind of skew toward sheet music as the best way to learn or record music. But in reality, there are lots of important skills we can get from ear training or listening to our music. So if listening to that song 100 times over makes you happy, I'm totally here for it. Okay, what song are you listening to on repeat right now? Because I know there's got to be one. Okay, this next point shouldn't be controversial, but I'm going to talk to that little voice inside your head. You are never too old to start or restart music lessons. Music has so many benefits at every age. Just because you weren't able to start earlier doesn't mean you shouldn't start now. How old were you when you started music lessons? Let us know in the comments below. Okay, this next controversial tip has to do with our consumerist culture, right? You do not need all the most expensive and fanciest and newest instruments and equipment to be able to start learning music. As your teachers, we can totally help you find the right instruments, the right equipment that you need at a good price point and skill point for you, right? But I promise you, you don't need the most expensive version out there to get started. Okay, this next point is for all my neurodivergent folks out there. Please don't work against your brain. If you need a lot of stimulation and variety, amazing. We will rotate through 10 unfinished songs to your heart's content, and that's okay. You are still learning. That is still really valuable music education and practice. Maybe for someone else you like consistency and routine, and so we can totally be there for you to help you create that perfect practice schedule. However your brain works, we can find the right amount of gentle accountability to make it achievable and fun for you. Truly, whatever you need, Tony and I want to work with your brain, not against it. If you're neurodivergent and want to share what works best for you in music lessons, then comment below. Okay, this next point is something that I'm really passionate about. You've got to enjoy the challenge. I think this is something that ends up being a teeny bit countercultural because we kind of idolize the final product instead of thinking about the journey to get there. That can create so much pressure, and it's truly not how we work or learn anything as human beings. Our beginning baby steps are so important to the learning process that it's important we don't just gloss over them to try and get to the end result. Here's the real secret. No matter your experience or skill level, every musician starts at the same place. You get introduced to a new place, you gotta learn your notes, you gotta learn your rhythm, you gotta learn your dynamics, right? And you keep doing this process over and over again forever. So I promise it's best to learn how to enjoy that journey and enjoy that challenge rather than worrying about if it's perfect or if you're getting to the right spot or if you're getting to the end product in enough time. It truly, as a musician, is about that process. As we think about enjoying the challenge, comment below what your favorite part of learning a new piece is. The last controversial tip I have for you is that progress isn't linear. This is something that Tony, our guitar teacher, loves to talk about. So we want our progress to go from, knowing nothing to prodigy really, really fast. But that is not how progress works. We're going to see a lot more ups and downs on that graph, right, as we slowly start to improve. I want to encourage you when you're having those slumps, when practice isn't going as well, don't worry. You're not failing. It is part of the process. It's going to be a little bumpy, but I promise you will get there in the end.